Cloud technology is transforming industries and creating new job roles at a very high rate. So in this video, we will cover the 25 most common cloud interview questions that will help you stand out in the job market. Whether you're aiming for a technical role or more strategic position in the cloud ecosystem, these questions will help you build your knowledge and give you the confidence to nail your cloud interview. Now, before we begin, make sure to subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon to never miss any update. So first we have is general cloud computing questions. So here, the first question is, what is cloud computing and why is it so important? So in this type of question, you must include the definition of cloud computing, the explanation of cloud service delivery over the internet, and importance in business flexibility, scalability, and cost effectiveness. Keeping these things in mind, you can frame your answer like cloud computing is essentially the delivery of various computing services like servers, storages, databases, and even software over the internet. Now, what makes it so powerful is that you don't need to own or manage all this hardware yourself. You can access these resources remotely, which is a game changer for businesses. It gives them a lot of flexibility because you can scale up or down based on demand. And importantly, it can be much more cost effective since you only pay for what you actually use, rather than having to invest in expensive infrastructure upfront. So yeah, this is what cloud computing is. Alright, this was about question number 1. Now moving on to the next question, which is name and explain the different types of cloud services. Alright, I believe these questions everybody should know about it, but yeah, we're gonna cover this. So in this type of question, you want to include an overview of 3 main cloud services models, that is IaaS, PaaS, and SaaS. You will also want to highlight the key features and use cases for each one. So first we'll start with the IaaS, that is infrastructure as a service. So IaaS or infrastructure as a service provides essential computing resources like server, storage, and networking over the internet. The big win, you don't need to buy or maintain physical hardware. Just scale up or down as needed, saving cost and adding flexibility. Alright, now then there is PaaS, that is platform as a service. So it is a built for developer basically. It offers a platform to build, test, and deploy apps without managing or underlying infrastructure. It is cost effective, simplifies the development process, and can scale with your app as it grows. Alright, now the third one, which is SaaS, that is software as a service. So software as a service delivers fully managed software over the internet. Think apps like Google Workspace or Salesforce. With SaaS, businesses save time and hassle since they only pay for what they use and don't have to worry about updates or maintenance. So it is easy for them as well. So yeah, these were the 3 cloud services that you should know because these are being often asked in interviews. Not as a question, but they'll simply ask you name 3 different types of cloud services and you must know about them. Alright, so this was question number 2. Now coming to the next question, which is describe the main deployment models in cloud computing. So this type of question, you will want to touch on the main deployment models in cloud computing, which are public, private, hybrid, and the community clouds. Now you should also explain how each model is set up and what it's typically used for. So a public cloud is probably the most well known. It's managed by third-party providers like AWS or Google Cloud, and the infrastructure is shared by many different organizations. It is cost-effective and scalable, making it ideal for businesses that don't want to manage their own hardware. Then there's the private cloud, which is dedicated to just one organization. It offers more control and security, making it a good fit for business that need to handle sensitive data or require custom setups. Alright, now there's the hybrid cloud. So the hybrid cloud combines the best of both worlds basically, that is mixing public and private clouds. It allows businesses to move workloads between them for more flexibility. Lastly, a community cloud is shared by organizations with similar interests, like government bodies, which need to meet specific compliance or regulatory standards. So yeah, these were the main deployment models in the cloud computing. And these are often being asked in interviews. Alright, so now coming to the question number 4, which is What are the benefits and limitations of cloud computing? So in this type of question, you should include the following points. First, that is benefits, that is the scalability, flexibility, cost savings, easy access, etc. Then there is limitations. For limitations, you can say data security concerns, dependency on the internet, and potential downtime. Alright, now let's understand how to explain it. So, cloud computing offers major benefits like scalability, allowing businesses to adjust resources based on demand, and flexibility also, with easy access from anywhere. It is perfect for remote work. It is cost effective as businesses only pay for what they use, and features like automatic backups enhance disaster recovery. However, there are some drawbacks. Data security can be concerned since your data is stored offsite and there's a reliance on a stable internet connection. If it's lost, so is your access to the cloud. While generally reliable cloud services can still experience downtime affecting the availability. So in this way you can answer this particular questions. So in this question we basically answered the benefits and limitations of cloud computing. So one by one you can mention that. All right. Now coming to the next question, that is question number 5. How does on-demand self-service work in cloud computing? So this type of question you should include the following points, that is the explanation of on-demand self-service in cloud and the benefits like faster access, ease of scaling and resource control. So here's how you can explain this particular answer. So on-demand self-service in cloud computing allows users to automatically access resources like storage, computing power, or servers where they need them, all without requiring human intervention from a service provider. This is really beneficial because it provides faster access to resources. Users don't have to wait for approval or setup. It also makes it easy to scale resources up or down based on the demand, which adds a lot of flexibility for businesses. Most importantly, it gives users more control over their cloud usage, letting them adjust and monitor resources in real time as their needs evolve. So this is how you can answer this particular question. So this was about the general cloud computing questions. Now let's have a look at the technical cloud computing questions. Now the technical part of cloud computing questions are the majority of the part that is being asked in interviews. These general cloud computing questions are also being asked, but yeah, if we'll compare, the technical part of cloud computing is what they actually look for. All right. So in this section, we will cover some intermediate level cloud computing questions. These focus on cloud infrastructure, deployment methods, and managing the cloud environments. All right. Now question number 6 is explain the difference between IaaS, PaaS, and SaaS with examples. So we already discussed this question earlier, but yeah, with examples also now we have to explain it. All right. So in this type of question, you should include the points that I'm going to cover now, which is the definition of IaaS and all these. And after that, the example of each model and the purpose and typical users of each basically. So this is a more of a technical kind of a question because the interviewer is asking about the examples also. So you have to cover the example part and the people or the cult who basically use these models. All right. Now we'll start with the first, that is IaaS. Now here's how to explain. So IaaS, or infrastructure as a service, provides the basic infrastructure like virtual machines, storage and networking, allowing businesses to rent computing resources as needed. A good example would be Amazon EC2, where businesses can quickly scale their infrastructure without investing in physical hardware. This model is ideal for companies that need flexible, on-demand resources and want full control over their infrastructure. That comes the PaaS, that is platform as a service. So basically, platform as a service offers a platform to build, deploy and manage applications without worrying about the underlying hardware. An example of this would be Google App Engine. So PaaS is mainly used by developers who want to focus on coding and app development rather than managing servers or databases. All right. Then software as a service, or SaaS. So it basically delivers complete software applications over the internet that users can access directly via browser. Now popular examples include Gmail or Microsoft 365. SaaS is typically used by businesses or individuals who need ready to use software solutions without any maintenance or setup on their end. All right. So in this way you can answer this particular question when they ask for examples with them. Now coming to the next question, which is question number 7. What is virtualization and how is it used in cloud computing? So in this type of question, you should explain definition of virtualization and then how virtualization divides physical resources and importance of virtualization in cloud computing. Now, virtualization is basically the process of taking physical resources like servers, storage, and networks and turning them into virtual versions. Now, think of it like having a big, powerful computer, but instead of just running one program, you can run several at the same time, each in its own little virtual space. These virtual spaces are called virtual machines. Now, in cloud computing, this is super useful. It means a single physical machine can run multiple VMs, so you are getting more out of hardware. Now, instead of having one server sitting there doing nothing most of the time, it can be split up into several virtual machines, each doing its own job. Alright, now in this way, you have to completely explain not just virtualization but also how it is used in cloud computing. You have to explain the process as well. Alright, coming to the next question, which is how do cloud providers ensure data availability and fault tolerance? So in this type of question, you should include the concepts of data replication and redundancy, use of multiple data centers or availability zones, and automated failover and backup systems. So cloud providers use a combination of data replication and redundancy to ensure that data is always available and protected against failure. Basically, they keep copies of your data in different data centers or availability zones. This way, if one of those places has an issue or goes down, your data is still safe and accessible from another location. And they also got automated failover systems in place. This means if something breaks or fails, the system automatically switches to backup without you having to do anything. It's designed to make sure that downtime is minimal and data loss is avoided as much as possible. Now coming to the next question, which is question number 9. Describe auto-scaling and load balancing in cloud environments. Alright, now before I answer your question here, let me first highlight the key points that you should include here. Now the definition of auto-scaling and load balancing, that is the role of auto-scaling is in adjusting resources and the role of load balancing in distributing the traffic basically. So you have to highlight these particular points in the answer that you will deliver it to the interviewer. Alright, now here's how you can do it. Think of auto-scaling and load balancing as a dynamic duo in cloud. Auto-scaling is like having flexible workforce. It automatically hires more workers from the workload increases and lets them go when it's slow. Now this means your system can handle sudden surges in traffic without breaking a sweat. Coming to load balancing on the other hand is like having a skilled traffic cop. It directs income traffic to different servers, ensuring no single server gets blocked down. This keeps everything running smoothly and prevents slowdown or crashes. Alright, so in this way you can answer this particular question. Now coming to the next question, which is what is the difference between public, private and hybrid clouds? Again, this is an important question, so pay attention to this one. Now before answering this question, there are some key points that you should highlight or you can emphasize on, like basic definition of the public, private and hybrid clouds and the unique characteristics and use cases for each. And you can also further highlight the points of benefits and limitation of each model. Now here's how you can answer. So the public, private and hybrid clouds are all different deployment models. A public cloud is managed by a third-party provider and shared across multiple clients, making it great for scalability and cost savings. Think services like AWS or Azure. A private cloud, on the other hand, is dedicated to a single organization. This gives you more control and better security, but typically comes with higher cost. A hybrid cloud combines both public and private clouds, allowing businesses to get the best of both worlds. Now you can use a private cloud or sensitive data and workloads while using the public cloud or less critical tasks, giving you a good balance of security and the flexibility. Alright, so this was about question number 10. Now coming to question number 11. What are some common security risks in cloud computing? So in this type of question, make sure to include the points, that is data breaches and data loss, account hijacking, insider threats, insecure APIs and interfaces, compliance risk due to data storage regulations. Alright, now here's how you can start with the answer. So cloud computing isn't without its risk. One big concern is data breaches. Imagine someone breaking into a safe and stealing your valuable information. That's basically what a data breach is. Another risk is data loss. This can happen accidentally, like accidentally deleting a file or intentionally through a cyber attack. Then comes the account hijacking. So, account hijacking is like someone stealing your identity online. Hackers can use your credentials to access your accounts and cause havoc. Alright. Now, then there's the risk of insider threats. Sometimes people within the organization, like employees or contractors, can misuse their access to harm the system. Now, insecure APIs and interface are like open doors or windows in a house. If they aren't properly secured, hackers can exploit them to gain access. And finally, compliance risk. Compliance risk can arise if you don't follow specific rules and regulations for storing and managing data. This can lead to legal trouble. Alright. So these were some of the questions that we answered, and this is pretty important in my opinion, because this is the question that is being related to security and cloud computing, and if you're applying for that particular role, this question is being asked. All right. Now coming to question number 12, how do you ensure data privacy and compliance in cloud services? Now here also, to ensure data privacy and compliance in cloud services, you should start by encrypting data both at rest and in transit. This ensures that only authorized users can access the data. You also need to implement strong access controls, and one way to do this is through identity and access management, that is IAM. So basically, which helps limit who can access sensitive information. Now it is important to follow compliance standards like GDPR for protecting personal data and HIPAA for healthcare data to make sure you're meeting the regulatory requirements. Alright, and of course, choosing cloud providers that are already compliant with the necessary standard is key to staying secure and compliant. So this is not that important question, but yeah, it is being asked in interviews, so just make sure that you know about it. Alright, coming to question number 13, which is explain the concept of identity and access management, that is IAM, in the cloud. Now, so identity and access management is basically a system that controls who can access what in cloud. It's like a security gatekeeper, helping make sure only the right people can get it into certain data, applications, or the services. It works by assigning user roles and permissions. So for example, some users might have full access to everything, while others might only get the access to specific files or features based on their role. Now, a key part of IAM is multi-factor authentication, which adds an extra layer of security. Instead of just asking for a password, MFA might acquire or require something else, like a code sent to your phone to make sure it's really you trying to log in. So this is what IAM is, and this is the concept of it. Alright, now question number 14, which is what are cloud security best practices? So cloud security depends on strong access controls through identity and access management to limit who can access your resources. This ensures only authorized users can get in, and adding the MFA. Now regular data backups and good disaster recovery plan are also important. This way, if something goes wrong, like a cyber attack or system failure, you can quickly restore your data and minimize downtime. Then data encryption is a key too. Encrypting your data while it's stored and while it's being transferred helps protect sensitive information from being stolen or accused by unauthorized users. Now finally, continuous monitoring and logging are essential. By tracking activity in real time and logging events, you can spot any suspicious behavior and respond to potential threats before they cause harm. Alright, so these were the questions. Now this was about the question number 14. This was also related to security. Now coming to question number 15. How do encryption and tokenization protect cloud data? So encryption is a process that converts your data into a coded format. The only way to read that data is with a special description key. This means that even if someone intercepts the data, they can't understand it without the key. It protects data both when it's stored and when it's being transmitted across networks, that is making sure it stays secure at all the times. On the other hand, tokenization replaces sensitive data with random tokens that have no real value. So if these tokens are intercepted by attackers, they are meaningless and useless. There are no sensitive information for attacker to exploit. So both encryption and tokenization work together to greatly reduce the risk of data exposure especially if there's a security breach. All right. So these were the technical kind of interview questions of cloud computing. Now let's have a look at cloud architecture and infrastructure questions. Alright, so these questions test knowledge of cloud architecture and infrastructure design, ideal for candidates with experience in designing, deploying, and optimizing the systems on the cloud. Now, each answer here includes essential points and clear, straightforward response. So, make sure to pay attention. So, the question number 16 is describe the components of a cloud architecture. So, while explaining this particular question, you should mention front-end and back-end platforms as core components, then network's role in connecting the parts, and middleware for integrating services. Now let's break down how cloud architecture works. So cloud architecture has key components. The front-end platform is the user interface like a web or mobile app where users interact with the cloud, and the back-end platform includes the servers, databases, and the storage that process and manage data. So the network connects the front end and back end, enabling access over the internet. Middleware acts as the bridge between different services, allowing them to communicate and work together seamlessly. So yeah, this was about question number 16, that is the components of cloud architecture. Alright, moving on to question number 17, which is how would you design a highly available and scalable system on the cloud? So while answering this particular question, you can frame your answer like, to design a highly available and scalable cloud system, I would use a multi-region or multi-zone setup to avoid single points of failure. Load balancing would evenly distribute income traffic to prevent any server from being overloaded. Auto scaling would adjust resources automatically based on demand, handling traffic spikes while keeping costs down during quieter periods. Now, redundancy and regular backups ensure that data is always secure and can be quick restored. Finally, I would implement regular monitoring to track performance and optimize resource use for better efficiency. Alright, so this was about question number 17, and here's how you can answer it. Now, moving on to question number 18, which is what is serverless architecture and how does it benefit cloud applications? So while explaining this, serverless architecture as a code execution model without direct server management. So here's the things that you should explain, or you can say highlight, while answering. The first is serverless architecture as a code execution model without direct server management, then automatic scaling based on demand for efficiency, then cost benefits through users based billing, then ideal fit for event driven applications. Alright, now you can answer this question like, serverless architecture is a model where your code runs in a response to events without the need to manage or provision servers. The cloud providers takes care of all the infrastructures and automatically scale resources based on demand, making it more efficient. One of the big advantages is cost savings. You're only built for actual uses, not the pre-allocated resources. This makes it a great fit for event-driven applications where tasks are triggered by specific events. Plus, it simplifies deployment and management because you don't have to worry about server maintenance. Alright, so this is how you can answer this. Now, coming to question number 19, which is explain the role of API in cloud services and their importance in integration. Now, while explaining, make sure to highlight the points which I'm going to tell you. That is, APIs as a tool for application communication, role of APIs in integration cloud services, and importance of APIs in automation, and APIs for data exchange. Alright, so these are the things that you should highlight, and the interviewer would definitely appreciate it. Now you can answer it like, APIs or application programming interfaces are tools that allow different applications or services to communicate with each other. In cloud services, APIs are crucial for connecting external tools and accessing cloud resources. They allow seamless integration of third-party applications without cloud platforms, making it easier to manage and use various services together. Now, APIs also play a key role in automation by enabling tasks like scaling, deploying, and new instances or updating systems to happen automatically. Additionally, APIs facilitate data exchange between different systems, helping synchronize information and create more integrated, efficient cloud solutions. What are the key considerations when designing a cloud-based application? So while explaining, make sure to highlight the points that I'm going to tell you, which is the scalability to handle growing workloads, cost efficiency to manage resources, security measures, reliability, performance. Alright, now I'm going to tell you how to answer this question. Now, you can start with when designing a cloud based application, scalability is crucial to handle increasing workloads and users without slowing down. Cost efficiency helps optimize resource usage and control and expenses, ensuring you are not overspeeding. Now, security is a top priority with strong measures in place to protect data and meet compliance requirements. Reliability ensures the app remains available with minimal downtime so users can always access it. And finally, performance. Performance is a key to keeping the app fast and responsive even during high traffic periods. Now, this is how you can answer this particular question. Now, these were the cloud architecture and infrastructure questions. Now, let's have a look at data management and storage questions. Now, these questions focus on data storage solutions, redundancy, and best practices in cloud environments. They are targeted at experienced candidates with knowledge in large scale data management and compliance in the cloud. Alright, so question number 21 here is, what are different types of data storage available in the cloud? Now, while explaining, make sure to highlight the explanation of data storage, overview of cloud compute, common cloud storage types, and factors that influence storage choices. So you can frame your answer like cloud storage offers various options, each suited for different use cases. Object storage is great for unstructured data like files and images. Block storage splits data into smaller blocks for fast access, making it ideal for databases or applications needing low latency. Then, file storage organizes data in a file systems, often used for shared access across applications. Then, archive storage is a low cost option for infrequent access data like backups. Now, lastly, cloud providers offers managed databases storage for both relational and NoSQL databases, ensuring scalability and performance based on your needs. So, this is how you can answer. Now, coming to question number 22, how would you handle data redundancy and backups in cloud environment? Now, while explaining, you should highlight the importance of data redundancy and backup, methods like data replication for reliability, and mention of regional or multi-zone backups. Now, you can start by saying, to ensure data redundancy, reliable backups in the cloud, I would use multi-zone replication, which store copies of data across different regions. This minimizes the risk of data loss if one zone experiences an issue. Now, I would also schedule regular automated backups and snapshots to ensure recent versions of data are always available. Now, versioning is important to retain multiple data versions, especially if something is accidental, deleted, or changed. Finally, regularly testing recovery process is crucial to ensure data can be restored quickly and correctly when needed. Alright, in this way you can answer this question. Now, coming to question number 23. Explain the difference between object storage and block storage in cloud. Now, the object storage stores data in units called objects, each with a unique identifier, and is accessed via APIs. It's ideal for unstructured data like media, files, backups, or logs, where data doesn't change. Now, block storage, on the other hand, divides data in small blocks and stores them separately, allowing for faster access. This makes it great for databases or applications that require quick and low latency data retrieval. Now, the main difference here comes down to performance and use case. Object storage works best for large, infrequently accessed data, while block storage is better for high performance needs where fast and frequent access is important. Alright, so these were the differences between the object storage and the block storage. Alright, coming to question number 24. What is the role of containers and Kubernetes in cloud infrastructure? Now, here's the point that you should highlight is definition of containers and for lightweight virtualization and Kubernetes for container management and the advantages of using containers in cloud deployment. So you can highlight these points while explaining. Now, you can answer it like containers are lightweight units that package applications along with all their dependencies, making them portable and easy to deploy consistently across different environments. Kubernetes is an orchestration platform that manages containers, automating tasks like deployment, scaling, and operations across clusters. Here, the main advantage of using containers in cloud deployment is speed and flexibility. They allow for rapid scaling and deployment, which is perfect for microservices. Kubernetes further enhances this by simplifying large-scale container management, improving efficiency and the scalability. So in this way, you can answer this particular question. All right. Now coming to the next question, which is question number 25. How does cloud computing support disaster recovery? Now while explaining, you should give an overview of disaster recovery, then use of replication and backups, then benefits of rapid recovery and failover options. You can answer it like, disaster recovery in the cloud involves replicating data across multiple regions, ensuring that if one region goes down, you have backup available. This replication, along with regular automated backups, allows for quick data recovery and reduces downtime. The key benefit here is rapid recovery and failover options, which helps minimize the disruption. Alright, so in this way, you can answer this particular question, that is cloud computing support disaster recovery. How does it support it basically? Alright, so these were the 25 interview questions of cloud computing that we were about to discuss, and we just discussed it. Now I want you to go through all these interview questions and prepare yourself and practice some more interview questions on your own. Now after these interview questions, I'm going to give you some tips for succeeding in cloud computing interviews. Now getting ready for a cloud computing interview. Now here are some tips to help you feel confident and show off your skills. So first on the list is understand the basics. First, make sure you understand the main cloud concepts. Know the different cloud services such as IaaS, PaaS and SaaS that we already discussed, the types of cloud setups, that is private, public and hybrid, and terms like scalability and elasticity. Interviewers often start with these basics to see if you have a solid foundation. Alright, then there is highlight hands-on experience. Now be ready to talk about real projects where you have worked with cloud solutions. Mention the tools and platforms you used, any problems you ran into and how you solved them. Giving specific examples shows you know how to apply your knowledge. Now use STAR method for scenario-based questions. So for questions about how you handle certain situations, try the STAR method. So here S stands for, that is situation, what was the situation. Then T stands for task, that is what were you trying to do. Then action. Action stands what steps did you take, and then result. What happened in the end. So this way you can answer clearly and show your problem solving skills. Alright, next tip is stay up to date on cloud trends. Now it's a good idea to stay updated on the latest cloud news. Read blogs, check for updates from providers like AWS, Azure or Google Cloud, and join online cloud communities. Interviewers like to see what you are interested in new technology. After that, show your soft skills. Now, cloud roles often need teamwork and good communication. Share examples where you worked with others, explain cloud ideas to people who don't have a tech background, or solved problems together. After that, there is bring examples of problem solving. Now, cloud projects often come with new challenges. Be prepared with examples of times you fixed something or improved a system, like setting up a backup plans or cutting costs. This shows that you are flexible and know how to find solutions. Then there is ask good questions. When it's your turn to ask questions, take the chance to learn more about the company's cloud setup, the tools they use, or how they handle security. Asking thoughtful questions shows you are really interested in the job and thinking about how you can help. Alright, so these were the tips that I wanted to share with you guys. That's all for our guide on 25 most common cloud interview questions and answers. Also, if you want to become a cloud professional and advance your career in one of the fastest growing fields, the professional certificate program in cloud computing and DevOps is for you. So this online program is designed for working professionals, providing practical skills and knowledge needed for cloud and DevOps roles. You can offer additional AWS or exam preparation materials for an extra fee. Whether you're starting fresh or leveling up, this program will help you take your career to the next level in cloud computing and DevOps. So don't wait, click the course link in the description to learn more. So with these questions and tips, you will be more confident and ready for your next cloud interview. Make sure you know the basics, talk about your hands-on experience, and you must stay updated on the latest programs. Now practice your answers and be ready with examples that show how you solve problems. Good luck with your interview preparation, and we hope you get the cloud job you're aiming for.